Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Enlighten podcast. This is episode 12, and we're going to be covering the news coming out of San Diego Comic-Con for DC's projects as well as Amazon's projects, so The Boys and Invincible. I'm guest starring Rob the Bat.
I'm Jack, and then we got Pigwars and Plipplop if you want to say hi. Alright, yeah, we're going to start with My Adventures with Superman Season 3. Did you guys watch Season 2, or...?
Oh, yeah, phenomenal.
Yes.
I watched, dude, way better than Season 1. I just, really quick, I wanted to say that, because Season 1, we have a review on the channel, but, like, it was a little spotty, in my opinion, like... Like, some episodes really hit, and some episodes just really didn't, but I feel like... 90% of the episodes in season 2 were good.
The only one in season 2 I didn't really like was when they stole the spaceship. That one just kind of felt like filler.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
I liked
but everything else, I think season 2 was overall.
Season 2 was good.
I think
the only
season
thing
2
I just wish we had. I just wish we had more time with Brainiac. That's it.
Oh yeah.
Well, what happened?
My only complaint,
because they teased him at the end of season 1, and we never saw him.
Well, I'm
Okay,
pretty
well-
sure Zod is gonna show up in season 3.
It just seems weird to
Season
tease him and then not show him. That's all.
Hopeance here.
well, they're going to show him
Yeah, I
eventually.
hope it's here now.
Hopeance out.
And also,
Bye, bye, Rob.
What?
why the fuck did you join to begin with, bro?
he wanted to make a cameo,
Anyway.
whatever.
Getting back on topic, I think them introducing Superboy is a good call. I'm surprised they're doing him this early, but them introducing him is kind of a good sign. They are very much putting an effort to expanding Superman's supporting cast with Kara and John Henry
Steel.
Irons
Steel,
last
yeah.
season. I will, which is one thing I think is interesting, and it's kind of the same thing that Superman and Lois did. Is we have Steel. We're now going to get Superboy. There's a version of Hank Henshaw in Superman and Lois in My Adventures with Superman, so they could be doing another building up, the Reign of the Superman thing. Mm-hmm. That is something that I considered now that we have 3 out of the 4 Supermen from Reign of the Superman, as well as Kara.
Yeah.
So just something to kind of keep in the back of your mind.
I just want to say, like, in response to what Pig Wars said, it is interesting, like, now that I'm thinking about it, is that it seems like they're doing, like in terms of, like, popular characters, they're doing this, like, this kind of weird thing where, like, they won't have a character for, like, a full season, and then they'll have them in the next one, and then they'll keep alternating what characters won't be in entire seasons. Like, for example, Mixius Pidalic, like, was not in this season. I don't think he was in the season at all. Same with
He
Zod. I will say a lot of the
think
villains from last
maybe-
season were sidelined too.
Was
I
it
think
Mazo in
maybe
this season? I forget.
I think he was in the comic.
Mazo was in the comic.
Parasite. Was Parasite in the season?
I
Think you should.
don't
wasn't like
think so.
the early episodes.
Yeah.
I think he was in the early episodes, but he wasn't Parasite. He was just the dude, like,
Yeah, the
and his
weird.
body was all weird.
Not a huge fan of that, but like whatever.
I like that Parasite. I think he's pretty cool, but I
I've heard
do
the
hope he
Parasite's
gets
cool.
more.
Mainly
comic
because I like
accurate.
him. I never really was like crazy about Parasite, so them making him different was kind of like
Like,
cool.
did it matter? I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
What I'm interested in
So,
is how they're gonna adapt Superboy, because Superman is so early on in his career. Superboy's always been a later character.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
The fact that he's usually a clone of Lex Luthor and Superman, like, that's gonna be interesting.
And also, every time
Yeah.
Superboy
This
appears,
is
I
only
think,
year 2 Superman.
yeah, I think he always appears after the death of Superman. So this is going to be
After
interesting.
death of Superman,
Yeah.
or
was
after
just gonna-
Superman's been established for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
When is this motherfucker gonna stop dying, dude?
Right.
Well, you
I
know
mean,
what'd be
even in
weird?
Superman
If
and
you
Lois, like,
Superman
you're kind
off
of teasing that
so
as well.
early in their universe. You would never kill Superman for like your second iteration of your universe. That would be stupid.
Yeah, it is a little bit different, I
Yeah.
think.
See, Jack, I think you missed the joke that Pigwars just said.
What? What?
How killing off Superman in your second part of your universe, that would be so crazy, right?
Oh, like
BVS.
BVS. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, they had done Reign of the Superman as the third movie. That would have been ballsy.
Oh man,
Bad.
I mean,
Bad.
I'm sure they
bad.
would have, but they had to just.
Let's stay on topic, guys. Let's stay on topic because we're not gonna get into a BVS discussion. Please, I will shoot myself,
dude.
Because
you're
Jack
right. I'm done talking about BVS.
Jack hates BVS so much that he's actually made me defend it at points, and Pigwars loves BVS so much that I hate it. So, next topic, Lex Luthor's bald.
Yeah, he is bald. Finally!
No.
We need representation that all bald people are evil.
Oh, man.
I like chewing Lex Luthor.
My dad. My dad's bald.
Your dad's bald? So what does that mean?
I'm sorry.
Anything else? Anybody else wants to say about my adventures?
I thought you were gonna say about my dad. I was like, oh my gosh. About Lex Luthor being bald. I feel like I talked about this before, or we talked about this in the My Adventures with Superman podcast. Of like, I just hope it's like a really stupid, like comedic way, because like they have to explain away his baldness, right? So I'm just wondering how they're gonna do that.
In the Silver Age, when Lex became bald in the Silver Age, I'm pretty sure it was like he was mixing some chemicals and the fumes made him go bald, and he like blamed Superman for it.
I always like the idea.
Like, I don't know. I think it would be weird if he did like a Walter White thing, and you just see a scene of Lex Luthor like shaving his head.
I always saw this idea that Lex Luthor would carry around kryptonite, and that would give him radiation poisoning, which would cause him to go bald. I always like that.
Yeah.
Justice League did a little bit of that, but different.
Go ahead, Plipplop.
Oh, what if he was wearing a wig the whole time?
Oh man.
Close enough. Welcome back, Superman Returns.
Okay, I was just gonna say for my Adventures Superman, on regarding Superboy usually coming later. I mean, I think it'd be kind of cool if they did a bit of a time skip. They have room for it here.
Yeah, that's true. I'm also not sure when the season comes out, so I mean it's flexible anyways.
I mean,
I think they are gonna have a little bit of a little brother dynamic. Because Superboy, Connor Kent was never like treated as Superman's son the way like Robins are treated as Batman's kids. Like Superman and Superboy always kind of had like a little brother type of thing going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or for some reason in Young Justice they kind of alternate between son, cousin, and brother, which is like okay.
And brother, yeah. Because I know in Young Justice there is one scene. In Young Justice, I know there is a scene where he calls him little brother, but then like I think he calls him a son another time.
And cousin.
But also John Kent doesn't exist in that universe.
The cousin thing was just I was like, come on.
What I think would be really fun, because originally Superboy was going to be trans. I would like if they actually did that for the show. I think
I've been thinking that for so long. What's the Supernova?
Like he's like, don't call me Superboy. You know, the whole point was that he doesn't want to be a boy.
I think that's another thing is that Superboy. It's been hard to do stuff with Superboy, right? Just because, that character is so stuck in like the '90s. I feel. That they haven't done too much with his character. I think that is
the only thing fresh. The only thing they did give him was like give him the black T-shirt, and that's it.
And I don't know if that was a progression or regression.
I like.
And by the way, Pigwars, I didn't know that.
Characters.
Oh yeah, it's a whole story.
I didn't know that.
It's pretty interesting actually.
Who the T-shirt is fucking boring. That T-shirt is lame as shit.
I have the T-shirt, but.
Wait,
the exact
Superboy was originally supposed to be trans?
Yeah.
Superboy was originally supposed to be trans?
Well, not originally, but
in the 90s?
No. They were gonna... It was a recent development, but it got shut down for whatever reason. I'm not...
Okay.
But they were building... No, because there are official comics of them building up to it, which is weird because they never actually ended up doing it. So it's kind of a story arc that was never really, like, finished, like, in concrete. So, yeah.
Okay. I will say My Adventures has been like good with representation and all that stuff.
Oh yeah,
so
for sure.
I think that if they were to do it that type of a thing, this would be a good place to do it.
This would be the show to do it.
Yeah, I don't think DC would ever let them.
Based on Superboy.
Now, granted, on the other hand, it would lead way to like a bajillion Superman goes woke videos that I would just like
stuff like that.
I would just like shove a gun in my mouth so fucking fast.
I like the vibes they're going for. It's obviously, you can see his jacket. It's not your typical. It looks kind of anime question mark. Don't know the right term to describe it, but you get what I mean. Maybe.
Well, the whole show is very anime-esque.
Also,
yes.
I find it weird for some reason. Like this isn't even like important at all. But like the Superboy on the bottom left is like darker than the rest of them for some reason. Like that's the tan Superboy, and then they have like the light Superboy.
Light skin, yeah.
Yeah.
I
know y'all want to talk about Cape Crusader,
anyway.
So let's talk about Cape Crusader.
I want to talk about Cape Crusader.
Okay.
Can I like lead the discussion on this?
Go ahead.
Can I like spearhead this shit?
Go ahead.
All right. First of all, Cape Crusader comes out on my birthday, which is like very exciting for me, for a Batman show by Matt Reeves and Bruce Timm. Nothing at Comic-Con was really said other than like Matt Reeves kind of talking about it, but I am just really excited for it. And another thing, there was a thing on Twitter today that I would like to clear up right now. Someone said that like Bruce and Barbara were a thing in Cape Crusader, and that was debunked to be untrue.
Oh, thank
God. Or
God.
at least like they might exchange some words, but it's not like they don't Killing Joke it and do it on a rooftop they're. Other than that,
the only healthy Barbara and Bruce I can think of is the Lego Batman movie.
Yeah, me and Rob
that's
talked about this
different
earlier, actually.
Barbara's like an actual
because they're like the same age, and I'm like, that's a lot better.
I mean, Bruce is
and it's also
frat bro in the movie, so.
Wait, what'd you say, Plip?
Yeah,
Bruce is basically a frat bro in that movie, so.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. The other thing too is, well, I'm not going to get into Bruce and Barbara and why that's weird, because there's so many people who will explain that. But with Cape Crusader, I've always wanted a Batman show like this that's set in the 40s, that is this period piece of him like with a flashlight going like looking through old files and sneaking around and doing like old 40s noir detective shit. Ever since like that one scene in the New Frontier animated movie of him like fighting the cult and like talking to Martian Manhunter about like newspaper clippings and shit, like I love that so much, and the fact that we're getting
this seems like a younger version of that Batman.
Yeah, and I'm totally down for it. Everyone, since that first picture dropped like 3 years ago, I was so excited.
What was it called? DC Fandom was still a thing when this was
DC
announced.
Fandom was yeah.
What the hell?
DC mentioned. So no, I'm gonna wake up on my birthday, pour myself a big bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and sit in front of my TV and watch the show the entire day. Yeah, like I'm so down. Yeah, they're dropping it in one day.
Oh, I did not know that. I don't know if that's good or bad though. I think what'll happen. I think it's a double-edged sword where it's by week they can build up hype and build up like a movement. But I also feel like this show has been in production for so long that I think Amazon is just kind of dumping it all at once to kind of like. And there is a part of me. I hope this doesn't happen. But there's a part of me that is a little bit worried that this show might only last this season and then get canceled for like a DCU-based Batman show. I was thinking that.
Which I would hate. I would absolutely hate that. Because why have a cool noir... Why have this...
I'm doing that.
Why have this cool noir 40s, unique version of Batman while we have all these other versions going on when we can homogenize everything and make everything the same?
Yeah, I don't like
so
that.
I hope that
money to do animation in the same universe. It's
because Matt Reeves said that they are working on a season 2, which makes me very excited. The other thing in the room that can be talked about this show is the Penguin being gender swapped and being called Oswalda.
That name is stupid as fuck.
I agree.
I will say the name is a little lazy.
Like Olivia or something.
I kind of
Ophelia,
I kind of that.
Oh, that's good.
Because I feel like Penguin being this like older, kind of heavy set like mafia boss kind of reminds me of how Sophia Falcone is in like The Long Halloween and Dark Victory. So I kind of dig that, and it's something unique because a lot of people when this show first came out were like, "Oh, it's just going to be the animated series again," and it's not. Because the animated series, while having some of those 40s retro sensibilities, was still it still had computers, and it still had this kind of timeless quality to it. This show is very much, this is the 40s.
But like
the
a
map of
less
Gotham
racist
City.
version of 40s.
that too. Like,
Thank God. It seems like they're doing the same thing with Fantastic Four. They're like, what if the 60s were good? What if the 40s were good? So I like that.
Yeah.
They keep the vibes, and they put the other stuff away.
And I've heard both. I've heard opinions of that. It's like, well, it's in the 40s, so there should be racism. And I'm like, you're a little bit weird.
That is weird. What the hell?
I think the only time it should be okay to do that is if you're criticizing it as a serious piece. You shouldn't just include it.
If you're criticizing it,
Not a fan of that.
if you're trying to make them like historically accurate, like if you're making a movie, if you're making a movie about the civil rights movement, it should probably have racism in it. Personally,
Yeah, I agree.
Like this is a Batman show in the 40s. It's okay for Commissioner Gordon to be black. Like, relax. If you're watching Batman Caped Crusader for accurate depictions of the 1940s, like, be a little bit serious.
What are you saying, Plip?
I just said that like civil rights issues only like they're required to be realistic if it's X-Men, and then that's all I could think of.
Oh yeah, X-Men I think is it's a good case because that's in the 90s, but regardless, this reminds me of, I don't know if you guys have seen this, Batman Strange Days. The show.
Yes.
Yeah.
That basically is the like pilot for this show. I'm pretty sure when Bruce Timm pitched this show, he pulled out that short and was like, guys, what if we made this a whole show?
I was wondering about
because that's the Batman Bruce Timm. I mean, I don't think it's like that. Like, I don't know. I don't think there's, if you want to call them canon to each other, but it's not like a big thing. I don't think they're gonna like reference Strange Days. But Bruce Timm has always said like that was the style of Batman he wanted to do. That very 40s, Batman fighting mad scientists and mafia gangsters. Like, he always wanted to do that. So this is basically him getting the opportunity to make a show out of that.
Yeah.
And I think that Strange Days short is really cool and basically a proof of concept for what this show ended up being.
I agree. Also, the Harvey Dent stuff reminded me of the Telltale games, just because, again, I'm not gonna say I dislike it, but again, the fall, the descent of Harvey Dent has been done so many times. I just don't want it to be too contrived.
Yeah, that is why one thing I kind of do not want Harvey Dent in the Batman 2.
Yeah,
like that's kind of a hot take that I had. Like, we've seen Two-Face so many times. I'm not gonna bring up what, but like we just got Harvey Dent being a major character in the sequel to a Batman franchise starter movie, with Dark Knight. So,
Oh yeah.
Wasn't Harvey also in Joker?
Was he? No, that was.
He's like name dropped in the trailer. No. He's named the like subtitles of the Joker trailer. There's like one line and it says like Harvey Dent.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about Thomas Wayne. But no, yeah.
Oh no.
I'm like,
that's Thomas new Joker trailer.
Batman's father.
That's a little Flashpoint story for you.
Thomas Wayne is Joker's father.
All right. Any last things to say about Caped Crusader? Or any last thoughts anyone wants to say?
Only that. Oh, wait, actually, one thing. I think that what was his name? Firebug in Caped Crusader.
Firefly.
Firefly?
No. He's called Firebug in Caped Crusader. And
he's called Firebug in Caped Crusader.
That's interesting.
Their version
They
of
should have made it Firefly. Those fucking cowards. Firefly's the go.
Why did they call it Firebug? Is it like not a fly? He can't fly? Or she? I don't know.
Oh, he has to earn the name. He has to go through a whole series arc, and at the last episode, he earns the name.
Right. He like builds the wings like One Piece an episode, and then he's like, I can fly now, and now I'm Firefly. Okay, got it.
Oh my god.
He only was suited in the last 5 minutes of the episode.
Yeah, I guess if he could fly, that would like not be too realistic. Oh, but one thing I wanted to say is that in the trailer, it seems like they are having magic, right? Because the black smoke.
Oh, with Gentleman Ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about Gentleman Ghost.
No. Well, I didn't even see Gentleman Ghost, but so tell me more.
Gentleman Ghost is in the trailer.
I didn't know that, but there's like this black smoke, like this, like it looked like it was like this, like living smoke or something, like people were breathing in.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
are you talking about?
Are they going the magic route or not?
That could be Scarecrow.
I think it's not Scarecrow because Scarecrow's on the show, but I think you're talking about Nocturna.
Yeah, it looked like it was
I think
moving.
What that is. So I think it's going to be one of those things where it's like a lot of those 40s stories, that kind of pulp era. They had like magic elements, but it was like Batman fighting vampires or like a monk who mind controls people. So I think they're going to have light kind of.
Yeah.
Like it's not gonna like aliens aren't gonna show up, but I think they're gonna have light kind of.
Maybe they'll build up to it, maybe they won't.
Like mystical kind of supernatural things.
Yeah.
Builds up to Batman.
Do we even really have any alien villains?
Alien villains. All of his villains that are aliens are probably just Justice League villains.
Superman
villains, or like a one-off Silver Age story where him and Robin go into space. Yeah, but it's not like a big thing.
All right, Rob, you got to.
So anyway,
you got to show us the picture of the toy of the Batman alien villain.
Anyway,
would Batmite count? Batmite's from another dimension.
A little interdimensional. I would like to see a Batmite in this. What the hell? That'd be cool.
Batmite. What if Batmite, since this is 40s Batman, what if Batmite shows up and gives Batman a gun and says, "Here, be exactly like the comics you're inspired by," and just hands Batman a gun? Anyway, so you want to move on to
I'm trying to think if I have any last thoughts that I want to say, or anything else I want to say about Cape Crusader. I just want to say really quickly, weird that Onomatopoeia is here. He really does not belong here at all. Like, he's a Green Arrow villain. Not like
okay. I'm okay with it because I like Onomatopoeia and I'm excited to see him in anything. Like, he's a cool character.
I guess.
So. And plus, you know what? Arrow took so many Batman villains that Batman can take a Green Arrow villain back.
It's fair enough, I guess. Right.
Fair game.
All right. So, Creature Commandos. The trailer came out at San Diego Comic-Con. And it looks different from the first look photo, which I guess was given because that was very, in detail. It's probably just a concept photo, but it seems like the detail is a little bit scaled down from that first image, which is fine, I guess. I mean, they need to be able to animate it, obviously, but yeah.
And that was also from a while ago, that first picture.
Yeah. People are saying this is just going to be another copy of Suicide Squad, which I don't know if I agree or not, you know.
I mean, it is just a version of the Suicide Squad with monsters. That's what it seems like.
Yeah. In terms of canon,
it's that
the canon.
I don't know why they just didn't fully reset it. Why are you keeping some things?
Jury is still out on the canon of the DCU and the DCU and Peacemaker and all that. I said this before about Creature Commandos, and this isn't the fault of Creature Commandos per se, but it's just kind of a general thing that I'm feeling. I've kind of gotten sick of Amanda Waller and the Task Force X and Deathstroke and all that kind of that side of DC because I feel like we've gotten so much of it recently. Like, we got it with My Adventures, we got it in the DCEU, we got it in the Arrowverse, we got it in the DCAU. Like, we've gotten so much of this, of the Amanda Waller and her having a secret task force that I've kind of gotten burnt out on it.
So and My Adventures. I have a feeling you won't be watching Waller.
I forgot that existed.
Maybe. Creature Commandos looks good though. Like, it looks fun. I think GI Robot's cool. But another thing too, James Gunn isn't exactly doing any favors for himself when people call him a one-trick pony, that he can only do quirky superhero teams made of a ragtag group of people who don't work well together. He's not exactly helping himself with the one-trick pony allegations.
I get it, but again, if it ain't broke, right?
No, I get it, but I said this in the last podcast. I think Superman is going to be a very interesting litmus test for James Gunn if he's able to keep Superman at the core of that movie or if he lets his superhero team stuff kind of bleed into it.
Flip? Were you going to say something?
I think I was, and then I think I forgot. But I will say I'm excited for Alan Tudyk because.
Oh yeah, Alan Tudyk is great, man. I like how he had this whole acting method of how he specifically makes sure that you can't hear his breathing, for robot roles in specific. So he'll be great, I'm sure.
He's not playing G.I. Robot. He's playing Dr. Phosphorus.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
Well, Sean Gunn is playing G.I. Robot.
Regardless, he him having that acting method proves he's a great actor. So
Yeah.
So what I'm really interested with this show.
You're deaf.
yeah, my bad. What are you saying?
What I'm interested is they're taking the route of the Suicide Squad with a lot of characters who haven't really been in the team before. So I'm interested to see if they're gonna do what the Suicide Squad typically is known for, where they're killing a bunch of them off, like haha funny deaths, or if they're actually gonna build them more of like a Guardians of the Galaxy type team where they learn to be a family. And I think either of those could be a really interesting idea. I'm just curious to see which route they're gonna take because the trailer doesn't really show off, or it could be a totally different direction, but those tend to be the types of teams you have, and I'm curious which way it's going to go.
I have a feeling there won't be a season 2.
Probably not.
Mostly because it's very clear that this is leading into, like, for example, Peacemaker, possibly Superman, and other projects, obviously Waller. So I think the story is gonna, like, 90, well, I wouldn't say 90, but a good portion of it is gonna continue on in the live action projects, which I'm fine with, but, again, it's kind of like the Suicide Squad, like, you don't see them making the Suicide Squad 2, which is fine.
The Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Wait a second, hold on, I just realized, if they're keeping the same actors throughout, like, television, gaming, animation, whatever, which is stupid, by the way, but if they're going that route, does that mean I'm gonna see, like, Alan Tudyk as Dr. Phosphorus in live action?
If he survives this.
I mean,
yeah, that's what I'm saying, is, like, because there's not gonna be a sequel, most likely, there probably won't be season 2, anything could happen, which I think is good, because that raises the stake, and I also want to say, I would not mind if Weasel dies in this. He's really creepy and weird.
I don't like when they do one season television shows. I just, it's annoying, because, you know, like, so many of the Marvel shows are one season long, and, like, why are you doing this? I don't want just one season television. I want a television show with multiple seasons.
Yeah, that's why I think miniseries is not really. I don't really like miniseries as, like, a format. I don't really enjoy them that much. I would much rather just have a TV show or a movie. Because I feel like any of the Marvel, I think any of the MCU shows would either be better off as a movie or a full-on TV show. And the 8-episode event
shows were originally going to be movies, and they should have been movies because they dragged on way too much. Yeah.
WandaVision was the only one that really felt like it took advantage of the TV show format.
I agree.
Yeah, but that kind of fell off towards the end. So
also true.
Yeah. But you know what? It at least got the chance to fall off, and, like, was a TV show.
Yeah, I hope to, because I'm getting a lot of, obviously, WandaVision vibes, and in terms of what they're doing with Fantastic Four. I hope it doesn't go the same route in terms of ending.
So here's one thing I have. We have Rick Flag Sr., so it's obviously keeping the event of, you know, Rick Flag being killed by Peacemaker. Yeah. And I guess this is going to Peacemaker Season 2 some. But with, you know, the dad being there, I'm curious how they're going to keep the death canon. Like, is it going to be just the Suicide Squad happened and Peacemaker happened, but it was just the Justice League just happened to be the DCU's version? Or like how that's they have to explain it.
It's like, probably going to be a soft reboot.
I think it'd be funny if they just did Peacemaker Season 2. Peacemaker's like, what the fuck happened? And Virginia's like, I don't know, and that's all they do. They just say, why is everything different than North? That'd be funny.
That'd be fine. Rob?
Like, why does everyone look different?
I don't know,
you want to go kill some people?
I kind of also, like, maybe this is probably just a me thing, but I stopped being so uptight, like, up the ass about continuity a while ago, to the point where now I'm just like, it's whatever. At this point, I'd rather just watch the show or movie and not worry about continuity. But with this, it's like a big thing. It's like, is this a soft reboot? Is this like a half-ass thing?
Because that wasn't.
This is the one time where
his death, that was important. Like, people hated him for that, and rightfully
like
so.
That
was part of
driving force
in
season 1. In season 1, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a big
Blu-ray
driving
Angel.
force of that character.
Peacemaker, right. What a joke.
We could only reference Blu-ray Angel so many times, though. I guess while we're at it, let's just go straight to Peacemaker Season 2. There was a set. I don't even know if I want to say leak because like it's not really a leak because I have no idea what's happening in this picture. But he has a new suit. And then I guess White Dragon is back, but he has a different suit as well. And then there's a mysterious character who people are.
I think that's his brother.
Yeah, people are saying that's his brother, but I'm not sure about. I haven't seen any good guesses as to who it is.
I don't.
What if it's KG Beast?
Motherfucker, you beat me to it!
KG Beast.
KG Beast is back. Let's go.
Dude, I hope it would be a different actor though.
No, they bring back the actor from BVS.
I know we can't talk about BVS too much, but man, KG Beast, man.
Wait, what?
I mean, if they do KG Beast, I would want it to be like the silliest possible thing, like gun on the arm. Yeah. Oh yeah, Batman locked me in a sewer one time, and I had to like eat rats to survive until the cops gave me. And plus, it would be Ben Affleck Batman too. I love
how Batman calculates the number of like rats there are, and like relative to how long it takes him to get out. He's just that smart.
Wait. Pause. KG Beast was in BVS?
Yeah, but it was impossible to tell because it was just this random
flamethrower. He's the guy with the flamethrower who Batman kills in the warehouse. Like, he's the guy who's like, I'll kill her! I believe you. Like, that's him.
The actor was also in Winter Soldier.
I'll just look at him.
That actor is in like a lot of...
He plays one of the Hydra agents at S.H.I.E.L.D. Which is funny because he also is working with the guy who's now playing Rick Flag Sr., so both of them have already worked together.
Yeah. I just hope that they get a new actor. I don't want to be reminded of that. I hope it's just his brother, though.
Anyway, I will say this. I saw that picture with White Dragon and Peacemaker and the other guy, and I just kind of looked at it for like a second and was like, oh, okay, and just scrolled past. Like, I don't really have anything.
It looks like the Atom from the CW, kind of.
Yeah,
he does. I thought about that too. He looks like Ray Palmer.
In terms of costume, it's very different. So it is like kind of fitting this new theme or this new universe, I guess.
Can we talk about the Penguin now?
Yeah, we could talk about the Penguin. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right.
Sophia Falcone should have been a big.
Yeah, I want to talk about. I do want to talk about the Sophia Falcone thing. I really want to talk about Sophia Falcone. All right. Well, this is the Penguin. This is the Penguin trailer. I've watched the other ones. This is the one that kind of stuck out to me most in my mind. This one looks really cool. I think them also basically implying that a version of Dark Victory already happened in this universe. Maybe not like obviously not exactly the way it was, but
I think
in Dark
it's just
Victory.
Dark Victory, but
actually, hold on, shut up. Because I don't want you to spoil Dark Victory for Pigwars. Because Pigwars is gonna read it. Okay. Because Pigwars is gonna read it.
Yeah, I almost got me there.
All right. So I'm gonna beat around the bush a little bit, but there's a thing in this trailer that references a version of Dark Victory happening, and that has to do with the character the Hangman, and the character actually is. So I think that's just a very interesting thing. How, you know, another thing I think is really cool about that Matt Reeves did is he set Batman in year 2, which means that he already had a year 1, and stuff has already happened, like the Joker tease and Salvatore Maroni and all these things. Other than that, the show just looks really cool, and it looks like basically just like a really cool grounded crime show, but with the Penguin as the lead.
And the cast is great, like Clancy Brown.
Cast is great. Clancy Brown.
Love it.
Now, the one thing I'm going to say about the show that has gone, like, people get heated about this on Twitter. Like, there are so many Robert Pattinson Batman profile pictures on Twitter, like, an overabundance of them, and they get heated about this.
Hopeance.
I do not know. I genuinely am unsure if Pattinson Batman will be in this show.
I wouldn't care if he wasn't in it.
I don't care, man.
So that's kind of how I feel. Like, if he's in it, I'll be excited and I'll be happy. But if he's not in it, I'm not gonna be like, no. Like, no.
I just want to see how they adapt Dark Victory without Batman in the story.
Well, here's the thing. They're implying that Dark Victory already happened. So, like, I don't know where they're gonna go from here. Because, like, he was already in Arkham for that.
Okay. got it. Also, in the trailer, I didn't see a lot of flooding. Because, like, Gotham was just flooded, right?
That is something I'm a little bit worried about.
Maybe
it's
it's a
something
budget
where,
thing.
like... It might be a budget thing, or it might be, like, the east side of Gotham is flooded, and, like, the west side is on higher elevation,
So
so
maybe
it's
it's
not
both.
as fucked up.
I mean, there was
The
some
Batman
flooding like
too.
the original
Like,
teaser
yeah.
I saw.
Would you say Pigwars?
Yeah,
In the original teaser they released like a year ago, I saw a bunch of flooding on that.
that's true. That I can confirm. I do remember that being there. But
The Batman
if
2,
Batman appears in... I do... We gotta see the Batboat, dude. We gotta see the return of the Batboat.
Batboat!
That's all I'm saying.
That's Jackofclubs.
That's actually George Clooney Batman from The Flash is in this.
That would be so goated. Like, I cannot...
What
I
the
would
fuck?
shoot myself.
I just want to say, in the Batman movie, it's interesting to me, like, that this is, like, Goodfellas for the Penguin, because in that movie, he was, like, kind of like a... He's kind of whatever. He's like a little baby almost. He's like, hey, what you gonna do about it? And then he got all scared with Batman and stuff. Like, he was definitely like the foil to Batman's like dark image. Like when he's like bumping into his car, flipping his car over.
Yeah.
And now they're trying to take him seriously. So I hope it's not too big of a transition to where it just doesn't feel like the Penguin anymore. Because it seems
like a
like he's
cartoon
way different in the show.
He feels like a cartoon
Yeah.
character in the Batman.
Well, also,
Yeah.
I think it is a little bit more serious. Like with like in the Batman, Penguin was established. He had his club, and now he's building himself up. You know, he's being that hardcore mobster.
Well,
that
I
you
guess
kind
I
of-
guess if you're
He was
if the whole
like
show
that
is
in
about
Batman.
him,
Yeah. Another thing, the one thing that people keep bringing up about Batman is how in the end of the Batman, he's like, oh, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep fighting in the city. So people are like, it wouldn't make sense for him to appear. And my logic of that is like, the Penguin is, I feel like the show is going to be more like underground stuff. And while Batman's dealing with bigger events and stuff around the city and other crime, like this is kind of flying under his radar. Or maybe it's like a Nightfall thing where he gets stretched so thin that he's going to like miss all this other underground stuff that's happening with Penguin. So
Batman
I am
does
honestly
appear to be in the finale.
50-50. Yeah, I'm 50-50 on it.
Time to bring in a 12-year-old
Um,
red and yellow spandex.
oh man, yeah, Robin's gonna be a tricky one for sure. If they're trying to keep it super realistic.
He can bring in some real help to a spread thin Batman, you know?
Batman's like, man,
Yeah.
this is way too hard. What can I use right now? A 13-year-old.
I think Batwoman wouldn't be bad in this
Weird.
universe, but I don't think Robin would work.
Yeah, I agree. I guess our Batgirl, like if she's old enough, like maybe like 18.
I could see Batgirl.
Hold on, just
Really?
make
Wait, hold on,
Robin,
Pigwars,
like,
you're anti Matt Reeves Robin Pigwars?
I don't see this universe having a 12-year-old in tights. I could see like a 17-year-old like they did in Batman
Forever.
Returns, but I don't see like a little kid
Yeah,
Robin working
I
in
was
this
gonna
universe.
say,
thinking that too.
just make Robin.
Timothy Chalamet.
Oh, I was gonna say, if like, just make Robin in a universe like the Batman, something in my ass. Just make him that kid in the back of the classroom who listens to like My Chemical Romance.
That's so true.
So me in high school.
So you're saying, Rob, you're saying that you want to play Robin, or
Yes.
better yet, get Tom Holland.
Ideally, no. Ideally, I would play Tim. Ideally, I would play Tim Drake, but Matt Reeves would use
Does-
Dick Grayson, and I would be okay with. I would settle for playing Dick Grayson.
Rob, just like
That being said,
Harry.
I do think a version of Robin could work in this universe, but not like a little kid, like a young adult, like 15, 16, 17-ish. Like,
Yeah.
I will say I don't want them
Ironically,
to.
around my age would probably work.
even then,
I'm
like
not
Batman
joking.
the Animated Series started with Robin in college
He's
age.
like 19,
Like,
or he was 19.
in the Animated Series, yeah, he's already in college by the start of the show.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I
Penguin show
Bruce and
looks good.
I was just gonna say I don't, because obviously the first movie there was a lot of talk about the Maronis and what happened, so it's fine if they delve into that stuff, but I don't want them to delve into it too much to where they explain away all the plot stuff in like streaming show. You get it? Because like people are gonna watch the first movie, and be like, oh, whatever happened with that,
And then just
like
watch the
never
second
find
one.
out. You know what I mean? And then that's gonna
What are
create
you?
less
The
room in the plot.
Batman. I know what you mean. Like how like the MCU, like you have to watch the streaming shows sometimes. Whereas a lot of normal people aren't going to watch this and they're just going to see, oh, new Batman movie. It's a sequel to the last one. Let's go see it. At the same time, I think the Batman is a very tight movie. So like I don't feel like I don't watch the Batman like.
But it does. It
the Joker
doesn't
scene,
exactly end at a high note. It ends at a slightly low
It
note.
doesn't end at a high note, but it doesn't end at a high note, but it's tight in the sense that there's not like loose plot all over the place
Well,
that
Joker.
like necessitate.
I know everyone loves the Joker.
I could cut that
post-credit.
scene out.
Or the Joker.
I could
It's not
cut
even
that
a
scene
mean,
out.
if
I
I
could cut
can-
that scene out completely.
If I can speak on the intelligence of the average moviegoer, a friend of mine who was like 20 thought that the Joker was a prequel to the Ben Affleck Batman universe, and she thought that the Batman movie, that we're currently talking about, the Batman,
Was young
was
Ben
a
Affleck?
recast of Ben Affleck's Batman. She thought they were all in the same universe.
What do you mean a recast? He's like 20 years younger.
He thought
Yeah,
the
well,
Batman
well,
was just
general
the
audience
DC
members
universe
are.
Batman.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
is an
think
issue.
people realize how surface level general audience members have of all this stuff. You can throw as
And it's
as
not
many
their fault.
multiverse movies as you want at them. It's not their fault. They don't have
They
like,
see Batman, that's
They're
all.
normal. They don't. They're normal.
Yeah.
They're not nerds like us. They not like us. They not like
Yeah,
us.
those
It's like
okay.
Certified lover boys, certified lover. Okay, go ahead.
so. So the point of that is that people are just gonna see that. Like, a lot of people overestimate how much the general audience knows. Like I saw one tweet where like ratioing someone, and it was like, bro, I guarantee you, like if you asked a normal general audience member what a Nightwing was, they would have a stroke. Like no one.
It's like
And a lot
Harrison
of people-
Ford.
In the general.
Oh, I saw
Yeah,
that clip.
literally.
Harrison Ford, that's hilarious.
I will say this: I think those Harrison Ford
They're
clips
gonna-
are like
they're gonna
staged.
give that man a
I think
seizure.
that they like I think that those Harrison Ford clips are kind of staged. Like I feel like they know he's
Probably.
gonna say like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So the interviewers intentionally are like, haha, let me ask him
That's
about what
what's happening. They're
616
still
is.
planning to watch regardless.
They're like, how's your MCU animation?
Yeah.
And then he just like starts twitching.
He starts tweaking the
Is
fuck
that a
out.
new drug?
Did you see the one video where he's like, what's a 616?
Is
Or
that
they
it?
asked him
hell,
about
yo,
the new
speaking-
Deadpool movie. They asked him what the anchor bean was, and he's like, "The fuck."
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, like he's not Kevin Feige. He didn't write the movies. He plays one part in like one movie. That's it. Like, and they're asking.
I
about
think they're
this
probably gonna kill him
overarching-
off too.
Yeah, exactly. They kill off every.
He joined the
villain.
franchise just so they could kill him off because the Star Wars wouldn't kill him off fast enough.
Well,
He joined
I don't
the
think
franchise
I don't
'cause-
think they would kill him off before Thunderbolts. But yeah.
They have Val.
Well, yeah, but his name is like Thunderbolt Ross. Like it's his team.
No one gives a.
I know
no
I know
one
you
gives
hate
a fuck
Thunderbolts,
about
Rob.
Val.
We should probably go back to DC though.
Yeah,
Joker 2.
Disney. Joker 2. Didn't like the first one. This kind of piques my interest a little
I
bit.
agree.
There's a couple.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, well,
I
I'm
really
gonna
don't
say-
like
I'm
that.
gonna say-
I really do not like that first Joker movie. But a couple things from this movie are making me kind of like, like a little kind of piquing my interest.
I'm gonna say-
But I'm not like crazy for it. I'm not like, wow, Joker 2, sweet.
Yeah, me neither. What are you saying, Plip?
Listen, okay. I've been hearing some word that Joker 2, Joker Folie à Deux, is gonna be a musical. And I'm sorry, but this, like, as a musical theater nerd, this thing is gonna get
As a
butchered,
theater
man.
kid.
I just know.
It's gonna be
But they
what?
are not, yeah. This thing's gonna be butchered by me, I can just tell. Like, they're gonna
As
be...
much as a musical as the Harley Quinn movie was.
Oh my goodness gracious. Wait, Harley Quinn movie?
Birds of Prey.
Harley Quinn and the Birds of Play.
Oh, fuck that movie.
I liked it. But just to
One
add
musical number. Take it or leave it.
to add on, I guess, to what Rob said, it is the reason I think this is more interesting than the first movie is because first movie rehash, almost nothing to do with Joker at all. This movie, even though it still seems like like elements of
It's an
that.
OC.
You can feel elements of that. It looks like it's its own thing, which I like. There's new plot stuff, and I think that even though maybe they won't land it on the musical stuff, maybe it will be amazing. But even if they don't, at least they're trying something new. And with the court scenes.
Yeah, I can.
Were you saying, Rob?
Yeah. No, I agree with that. At least they are trying something new instead of like the first movie is like everyone said it ad nauseum, but it is like a very true thing. Yeah, the first movie is like is trying to be Taxi Driver, and then this movie at least they're trying to do something a little bit more interesting. So I can respect it on that front. But it's not something I'm like chomping at the bit. Oh, Joker 2 comes on 46 days. Like I'm not like super like woo.
Yeah, I agree with the
what's
comedy sentiment because he did, which I think was kind of like false advertising because he said my life was a tragedy. Now it's a comedy, so I kind of thought this one was gonna be a comedy. So I'm kind of disappointed about that.
If the first movie was King of Comedy and Taxi Driver, then if this thing is just Umbrellas of Cherbourg and La La Land, like. Oh my goodness gracious.
What's the third
La
one?
La Land, but it's Joker.
The third one's gonna be like an avant-garde political spy thriller.
Spy thriller.
I see it.
Oh my god.
But people are liking it. They got good preview reactions.
Oh, it's
This started the first movie.
It's gotten high praise from people in high places, which I guess The Flash did too.
yeah. I'm about to say so did the Flash.
The Flash did too. So
Tom
it's
Cruise said he liked The Flash.
What'd you say?
Yeah, Tom Cruise like praised The Flash. So
It's
like,
not the worst movie
Best
ever.
movie I've ever seen.
you know,
I kind of like.
I
enjoyed
disagree.
It. I enjoyed it when I watched it. It's not perfect though, and there are parts that are really disrespectful. But back to Joker. You know, it's hard to say if it's gonna be good right now. I think movies like this, like movies where it's like there's not a lot of grab because it is like just like more of a normal movie, if that makes sense. You just have to watch to form an opinion. It's too.
But here's the
early,
thing:
I
it's
think.
also more like a normal movie, but it looks like a lame normal movie. It doesn't look like a cool normal movie.
Well, what's an example of a cool normal movie to you?
Yeah. Babylon.
Busters.
Babylon, let's go! Jack is back! Dude, I want Babylon 2
Like I
so
don't know,
bad.
they're playing
I-
a movie.
I don't think we need Babylon 2.
No, we need
I
it.
love it, but I don't
Bro,
think
we need Babylon 2, Jack is back.
So I kind of hated the idea of Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn was announced. The trailer has kind of sold me on it. Her design, I don't like her outfit with like the red and the makeup, but like her actual like normal design, I really like. And I think some of the lines she has in the trailer, it's definitely not typical Harley Quinn, but I kind of am digging it now.
What I was
I think
thinking
they've sold me on the casting.
is on the stage when like it's the Joker. I'm sure you know the Joker and Harley thing. It's weird to me that Joker's like all dolled up like in uniform, and then Harley's like has this completely different outfit. Like it doesn't look like the red and black Harley outfit, which is like kind of weird. I thought that they would both kind of have it on like if you're gonna make a movie just about like these two characters like as your grab, you're gonna want to have like probably more iconic looks to get people in seats. But yeah, their relationship looks fine. All right, Superman and Lois.
Let's go.
All right.
I haven't seen
Doing
this
Reign of
season
I think
one.
they're so Superman and Lois. I think it's very like they're very much that. Even the trailer that dropped like a week before Comic-Con, they pretty much said they straight up did say that like at least the supporting cast that's still on Earth believes Superman died. We don't know if they like found his body like floating down from space or if they think he's lost in space, but the assumption is that he's dead, which I think is a very bold choice to do for your first episode of your final season. And it's one of those things. He's obviously coming back. Like, come on.
I would just like them
They
to
filmed
have
the
a
whole
new
season.
story besides Death of Superman. It's so overdone.
It has been done a lot, and I know Pigwars. I know you like the story, but like
I like
we've had
Reign of the
quite a few-
Superman. I'm not super big into Death, but I love Reign.
I agree. Reign has.
I will
been,
say
like,
the
twice.
fight though. the video that they dropped of like Superman fighting Doomsday in space is sick.
It looked okay.
I think that shit is so cool.
I will say, compared to the other CW shows, big step up. Not perfect though.
I mean,
Yeah.
I know it's not, and again, bringing up
It
the
looks
best, I know
cool.
it's not
I
fair to compare CW TV show to big $1 billion movie, but like people were saying, "Oh my god, this looks as good as that." I'm like, I'm sorry, this is good, but it's not
that good.
one of the best things I've ever seen on TV.
Yeah, and it's not ultra, like, it's realistic, but you can tell in some parts.
You're not coming to a CW show for the action. You're coming for the character.
I will say, I
Specifically-
like as someone who
Go ahead.
as someone who does notoriously have a soft spot and enjoy the CW shows, I agree, but also there is a level of appreciation that Superman and Lois, I think, does deserve the props for looking significantly better than a lot of the other CW shows, even though I do defend them and enjoy them. My other thing with it is I like that it is in space rather than setting it in another city with a bunch of building destruction porn. I'm happy that like we're actually seeing the fight take place at least in a different location from BVS, and again not another let's destroy half a city and just like gratuitous like headache inducing destruction. I like at least it's a new location, and again this is very clearly going to be like the season opener, and I'm very curious to see where this takes the rest of the supporting cast. Specifically Lois, because this is my favorite version of Lois Lane ever. I love her. She's
Great
amazing. Also, another side note, I like that we see Superman's suit get battle damage, because I'm a big sucker for battle damage superhero suits. I think that shit always looks
more
like,
of it.
top notch.
I will say, wait, can I say really quick about the CGI? Is that the issue is that when you have a real person fighting a CGI character, it makes the real person look worse, which is why I think, like, because you can tell they were green screened in compared to where everything else is CGI in the shot, but they just had to green screen the person.
No, they actually filmed him in space. That was real.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is that there are plenty of shots in this where I saw I'm like, they could have just done that in CGI, because it takes you out. You could tell it's a green screen in a lot of parts.
Yeah.
Yeah. The new DC Studios has a new logo. Thoughts? Do you guys think it's good or what?
Okay.
Cool.
This is another thing. One of the big things that people level against James Gunn is that he's regressing DC back to like the 70s, and like he's regressing the brand and all that. Him making the new DC Studios logo, the one from the 70s and 80s, not doing him any favors. I think it's fine. Like, it's the old logo, and I think having like Golden Age Superman there is kind of cool.
I don't think it's so much of a regression as it is that it was great back then, and then it regressed, and now they're bringing it back to greatness, is what I'd say.
I mean, my favorite DC logo is the one from 2005, like the one with the star on it and like the whoosh.
Oh,
you know the one.
Yeah, I do. What are you saying, Plip?
You know the one. Oh.
Listen, it's a logo. I mean, I don't think people need to be getting up in arms about a new logo.
Yeah,
That's the other thing too.
But I've seen so much hate. It's crazy.
Yeah.
People hating on a logo need to
The one
walk outside.
the one that I posted in general.
Let me see this.
I posted it in general. Like I love.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Oh yeah,
that's my favorite. Like that, I think that
my personal favorite
like
is just
DC's
the blue and black one. That's been my lock screen for like years. I just love it. I don't know.
It's a lot of fun. So this was a lot of fun being on the Enlighten podcast as a special guest talking about what I love, Batman.
Yeah.
So good night. This was fun. Goodbye.
Bye, Rob. Okay.
Oh, he gone.
On to Invincible. Blue and black suit, and season 4 has been confirmed. I think everyone knew that was gonna happen.
We're probably gonna get like a season 5 as well.
I mean, I think it's possible they go up to 10 seasons or more, like just because of how big the comic story is, and how little like if we're being real, season 1 and 2 have barely touched the surface, like when it comes to the comic story, like in terms of what they've adapted. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm interested in this. Thoughts on the suit though?
It looks cool.
It looks
Well,
It's a
actually,
downgrade from the
that.
comic, but
Hold
it's
on.
fine.
I have a big gripe with one element of costume design, specifically with superheroes, and that's fingerless gloves. If you're trying to keep a secret identity, then you're stupid for wearing fingerless gloves. You're leaving fingerprints everywhere.
I've always thought
Jesus
that.
Christ.
I think even his original suit had fingerless gloves, right? I could be wrong. Same with Flash. Ezra Miller makes no sense. And you'd think he would be smarter because he's a forensic scientist, but he's leaving his fingerprints everywhere. Yeah, I like the suit. It's just it's been popularized to kind of like everyone wants there to just not be the blue pants because like it's like kind of unnecessary. I know some people like it. Personally, I don't. I think even though it's never been like a canon thing, it's just like something more that people ask for. And of course, this is just based off the comic design. But it's not my favorite. The blue pants. They could just do without them.
I mean, yeah, it looks cool. I mean, I love Invincible, so, and I told a friend of mine I'd be reading the comic at some point, but
I wanted to read the comic, but like I don't want to get spoiled, and I know there's
The
so
show
many
is
like
a
big spoilers.
Pretty faithful adaptation of the comic.
Yeah, and even Robert Kirkman said, or he was quoted saying that this season in specific, like Invincible has had two great finales, and he's saying that every episode of season 3 is gonna feel like a big finale. Like every episode is gonna have like really really big important stuff happening, which I hope doesn't overload the show, because like if you're having it could get a little intense. I think like sometimes it's good to have like buffer episodes or like kind of cooler, calmer episodes in between. Thoughts on that?
Filler is there for a reason.
Yeah. Well, not even necessarily a filler either. I would just say.
Wait,
like,
what? Huh?
episodes. No, because like in Invincible, not every episode is like a big finale episode. For example, season 1, not that this wasn't a big episode, but they have like small scenes like in high school, like when he first meets Amber and stuff like that, like, or just talking to different characters. You get what I mean, though. It is important to have small character moments. So I hope it doesn't just go full. Not that being full comic book is bad, but I think for this show, there still is a grounded element that like needs to be displayed for it to be Invincible. All right, The Boys. Pretty unexpected announcements happening. I don't know if you guys want to say what happened or what, but
I've been waiting for this. Okay. Alright, so Gen V Season 2 coming out in 2025. That excites the fuck out of me.
Obviously,
just because, I need more boys to satiate me since, Season 5 is coming
that sounds
out in
bad.
2026. What do you mean?
Do you need the boys
to satiate you? Really? Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, come on. I'm using words, okay? Main thing I want to talk about here is the whole spin-off thing.
Yeah.
And people, I know a lot of people don't seem to be a fan of the boys getting spin-offs because they're like, oh, it's going against your whole thing of superheroes having too much spin-offs. Here's my take on that. Spin-offs are good, right? Like, here's the thing. When you have a world that can expand in cool ways, like The Boys, like, there's a ton of different things you could expand upon. You can tell all kinds of stories in a universe like that. So, if you can, then go for it. Spin-offs only become a problem when they're required viewing for the main thing, which Gen V did kind of do. But,
not in a big way.
Yeah, they at least it's a show, so they had the ability to do a whole previously on like a movie.
Yeah.
So the idea of a Stormfront and Soldier Boy based spin-off set in the 1950s, that sounds awesome. I'd love to see more of Soldier Boy.
Boys Season 5, and while we're on Boys Season 5, just want to say I did not expect it to I don't know why I expected it to come out next year, but 2026 right now seems kind of extreme. Of course, we need to let them cook, but yeah, I mean it's
In my opinion, I'm not gonna complain about more Soldier Boy. Like he's a go-to character.
yeah, Soldier Boy.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, like you only win from having him have his own show. In my opinion, there's no downside to that. Well, it's only a prequel, so you can't make it necessary to watch season 4 or 5.
Yeah, and it does come out after, so like it doesn't matter anyways. Boys will be over by that point. But yeah,
Wait, when's the Soldier Boy?
It's not. We don't know yet. It hasn't even been written yet. Like there hasn't been anything written at all.
Is it official?
Yeah, it's official. It's called Vought Rising with Stormfront and Soldier Boy, set in the 1950s.
And there's also the Boys Mexico as well.
Yeah, and the Boys Mexico, which has been confirmed for a little bit with Diego Luna from Andor.
I want to say something about the Boys Mexico. Now, it's really just I think it's cool just to get a spin-off in Mexico because I'm Mexican, so I just like that. That's it.
Real.
That's fair.
That's fair enough.
We need the boy in Pakistan.
I don't know. I just think
Soldier the boy.
I don't know if you'd want that to happen because like everyone would be dying in Pakistan. It's like, yeah. If it was in the Boys, yeah, for sure. Definitely. Homelander has done some bad stuff in foreign countries that I'd rather he didn't do. I will say in terms of spin-offs, I don't think they need this many. Like even when Gen V was even before it was called Gen V and I heard about it, I'm like, what? Like that surprised the hell out of me. I'm like, why are they're doing like G-Men or what are they doing? And now
I would
there's
argue
like
that
way more, it's like kind of iffy with me.
I would argue that most spin-offs aren't necessary. Like my little take about it is that if you have a story to tell, and you want to tell it, if it happens to be in an existing universe, then go for it. Like,
but I feel like there's a limit though.
True. Like, there are some things. Like I was gonna say, there are some things that really maybe don't need expanding upon. Like Boba Fett, because Boba Fett's whole appeal was that he was
mysterious,
just the silent, the silent badass everyone likes. But like the Boys, there's a ton of potential for spin-offs here because you have a whole world of corporatized superheroes and all kinds of different things you could do. Different ways superheroes.
For example, in Diabolical, that was a great show that kind of did that.
Oh, I love that show.
I hope we get a season 2. I hope we get a season 2. It's crazy to me that they're doing so many spin-offs, but we don't have a season 2.
We're not going to get a season 2. It's been too long. They would have announced it already.
Yeah. I don't know. The thing is, I just don't want them to water it down too much. I think it's fine as long as they maintain the integrity, I think, of the original story, the original 5 seasons of The Boys, which I think Gen V has done well enough, like to where they're not even dependent on The Boys. Like, it could be a completely different universe and still be a good show, if you know what I mean. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I just don't want them to be too codependent, like Plip said. Otherwise, you know, it's hard to say until we see more. Anyone else have thoughts?
I mean, just that I need The Boys season 5 right now. I need it injected in me. Also, need
Invincible
Boy,
season 3. Dude, speaking of Invincible, I hope that, like, again, we need to, not that it's anyone's fault, like, in specific, but they need to step up with the animation. Like, it was really tough last season. Like, really, like, come on.
One more thing I'd like to say, though. I wish it releases, like, together. I don't want, like, a mid-season break of, like, 2 months.
That was stupid. I can't believe
that was really horrible.
I think they learned their lesson. No one thought that was a good idea.
I hope so.
Yeah.
And it's not like they couldn't have just waited to release all of it at once. They could have easily done that. But yeah, and it didn't even build up hype. They waited so long that the hype died, which is surprising. Like, that barely happens. Like, even with No Way Home, people got hype for it. Even though, like, they barely released or said anything. So, yeah, it's a different thing. I hope that they don't take too long. and I hope they don't do mid-season breaks or whatever. And I hope that another thing is, like I said earlier, they aren't adapting too much of the comics, but I feel like if they wait too long, then this show's gonna drag on forever. I think there are some things that they kind of will need to simplify, just so that they can keep the story going at a good pace.
Adios, hermanos.
Adios, amigos. That was Enlighten Podcast episode 12. Bye.
Bye.